Hey guys, it's me again, and today we will be looking at RY versus LSB Game 2. Got my paint up, I got my notes up. Four things that we're going to look at. These are my takeaways from the last game. One, on the side of RY, Zero and Luna weren't very impressive. I really liked how Kiri played. I want to see him on like a carry champion in the jungle. And then the LSB poke versus the RY dive. And finally, the RY communication. They really didn't take fights very well. Let's just see, taking fights as one. Yeah, so game 2, we're getting into the draft. So immediately getting into it, we see the first phase of bans. RY is going to be on the blue side, and LSB will be on the red. These bans look pretty similar to last game. Yeah. They didn't ban out the Olaf on the side of RY in the first round of last game. They banned it out in the second round. So that might be something to pay attention to. But the Varus, good poke champion. LSB getting rid of the Camille for the top lane, and the two very good supports, and the good top laner in Set and the Karma, and then getting rid of jungle picks, Master Yi and Olaf on the side of RY. Yeah, so Ziggs does make it through. Ziggs was banned last time by the side of, I believe it was RY. So it looks like they're putting a lot of emphasis on the Ziggs, thinking he's a carry pick. So yeah. Jace again made it through, so it looks like LSB will be taking him. So Ziggs ban. Actually, let's see what they take first. Right, the Jace was banned last game. It's a bit or no, he wasn't banned last game. It was the LSB that had him last game, and he did a lot of work. Really good for poke. I'm surprised he got let through. I feel like he was very instrumental. And then Kiri's gonna take the Gragas away from the side of RY. Looks like. So yeah, it looks like RY is really prioritizing this Ziggs. It'll be interesting to see whether he goes bot or mid lane. I know that a lot of teams have been playing Ziggs bot as sort of this like carry role who bursts down towers, and then you can play a more AD mid laner like the Riven, just if you want. So it'll be interesting to see. So we're going to see the Xin Zhao from Do. Like I said, what was it, game 1, I'm not a fan of Xin Zhao that much. Like, he does good work, but I think that there are better picks. Like, why not pick like the Rengar, the Kha'Zix, you know. This makes me think that they specifically have some, like, they want Xin Zhao, and like even then there's a lot of good junglers like that are still on the table, and I think that Xin Zhao seems a little preemptive. I think I would have rather seen maybe a top laner or a support, something like a Galio, or like maybe like the Alistar. Even though I said I didn't like how the support played last game, I liked the Alistar. I think he was good. And I think that he's pretty good in the matchup, but it looks like they're going to be going for maybe a pokey comp. So they are going to pick the top laner. So yeah, I think Garen and Darius were probably the two most obvious picks after Xin Zhao was locked in, because you're going to want a tanky, probably top laner at the very least, and Garen is just good all around. Like, you can't go wrong with Garen, you know. And we see the Kha'Zix lock it. I really like this. Like I said, game 1, I think that Kiri was really good on the micro plays of Xin Zhao, good decision making, and they were on Rengar. Who was on? One of them had Rengar, one of them had Xin Zhao. I'm pretty sure LSB had Xin Zhao. I'm doing this on 2 different days, so excuse me if I don't remember game 1 too well. I did look at my notes beforehand, but like that only tells you so much. I should probably be taking more detailed notes. I also keep deleting them, so I'm probably gonna have them on my like Google Drive or something, or keep them online somewhere so I don't forget to save them. Yeah, but I've been saying that like I really like the Kha'Zix. I think he's very good right now. At least in my eyes, he's probably the best assassin in the game. There's probably arguments there, but like I think that he does a lot of damage and like his utility is pretty good. So plus I really like the ability to like have scaling built into him. For the bans now, this will be interesting. I think the Jace is probably going to go mid lane, which means that the Gragas is going to go either bot lane or support, or bot lane or top lane. So you do have a bit of options on the side of LSB. On the side of RY, I'd like to see like maybe an Ashe and then like an Ezreal. Yeah, like an Ashe Ezreal ban, I think. Just like kind of get rid of those pokey champions, force them to play something different, see if they can, hold up. On the side of LSB, what are you looking to ban here? I think you're looking to ban supports. You don't want to ban out duo laners, specifically like ADCs, because if you get the pool too low, you might be forced on something you're not comfortable on, and like you don't know where that Ziggs is going. So like if they just put the Ziggs bot and pick another AD mid laner, or like if they pick an AD mid laner, then like you've just kind of played yourself and gotten rid of the pool. So I think banning out supports is the best, especially when you can just kind of float this Gragas wherever you want. So we are going to see the Morgana ban. I actually really like this. Morgana can be played in both that support and mid role. I don't think she works very well with the LSB comp that you have right now, because your comp would be kind of squishy. You really don't have that Gragas for front line. You'd probably prefer like another tank in the bot lane if Gragas goes top, or like a tank in the top lane if Gragas goes bot. So yeah. What else? Yeah, I don't think on the side of RY, even though you'd like to ban out top lanes, I don't think there's enough to ban out. Like I feel like there's just so many top laners that are at the very least good, and with the Gragas being able to flex, you don't want to like hit a roll and then like have them swap on you. I like the Senna ban. A bit surprising that it didn't get picked by either side. But yeah. So we'll see what they go with. They're gonna go with the Lulu. Yeah, so they're banning out supports. I like this. By banning out supports, you can also sort of narrow the scope of AD carries that can be played, right? By banning out the Lulu, you kind of stop like the Jinx and the Vayne from really like being played, unless you want to play like Jinx Sona or Vayne Sona, which like you'd much prefer Lulu, I think. So I really like the bans here. Plus, like even though there's still a lot of supports in the pool, I think that the ones that are in the pool, if RY has to pick them, sort of favor the side of LSB more. Yeah. So now what are we going to see picked? We're going to see the what now? The Jhin? Okay, that is not the AD carry I want to see. I wanted to see like the Ezreal, or like what? Like I can't really pick Rain. The Ezreal, maybe like an AP bot laner. The Draven. Are we just not picking Ezreal? And the Thresh. I like the Thresh here. He kind of controls space really well, and I think that means that like the Draven has access to move. But it looks like that Ziggs will be going mid lane. And then we're gonna pick Blitz. I've been stunned into silence. I think this is I think I see what LSB is going for, right? I think the idea here is that the Blitzcrank hook can kind of take your opponent out of the fight. Like you can basically steal an opponent and then just burst them down with like Jin, Blitzcrank, Kha'Zix, Jace. You know, while Gragas kind of like provides a front line so that the rest of the team can't get in. But in practice, I don't think that works. You know, like you need to hit the back line of like a Draven and Ziggs, and they will never be in range of a Blitzcrank hook to the point where it can get effective value. And should you try to like, we're gonna pull this up on Paint, right? So let's say we've got red team here, right? We've got 1, 2, like 3, and then like 4 and 5, right? So we'll just say that these are like the Draven. Can't draw the Draven and the Ziggs. And then this will be Jinzhou, Thresh, and then Garen. And then on the side of the blue team, we will have the, like, pretend this is mid lane, by the way. Just, like, run it. We've got what? Blitzcrank, Gragas. And then you have the Kha'Zix. K, B, and then G. And then you're going to have Jin and Jace. Ignore my shitty A. But so the idea is that the Blitzcrank can grab someone, right? You take the Blitzcrank and you grab, take your little claw and you drag him and you move him over here. But if he's a tank, they can just follow up, engage with their entire team. Sorry, red. This is now red, right? So let's say you drag a tank forward. Then the entire team just now has an avenue to engage, right? Like you've now given them an avenue into the fight, right? Because you've basically cleared out, in my eyes, you've cleared out the space like right here. You cleared out this line of space where Thresh normally would be for the, I'm gonna erase these arrows. Oh, sorry. Cancel. I don't want to save it. No, I want to go backwards. There we go. So right, you've cleared out what is now this line of space, because now the front line, instead of being the front line being here, it's now here. So they're protecting this amount of space instead of protecting this amount of space, which allows the Ziggs and the Draven to get in here. Yeah. And then, like, even if Blitzcrank, right, like, let's say you've got Blitzcrank over on a flank, over here, right? So ignore this Blitzcrank. This Blitzcrank doesn't exist. And the Blitzcrank hooks one of these backliners. Boom. Boom. Ooh, look at that massive hook on the Ziggs. And Ziggs is now here. You still have to use your abilities, right, to get damage on the Ziggs. And you can't use the Kha'Zix burst, which is what you really want to get onto the Ziggs. You have to use the Jin and the Jace poke, which means that the frontliners have the ability to go straight in here, right? They don't have to worry about getting poked down from the Jin and the Jace, because the reason that the frontliners won't dive, right, they won't immediately go in, is because the Jin and the Jace are protecting space, because you gotta worry about, like, once you get into this range, right, you have to get worried about just getting bursted down. So that's why I really don't like this comp from the side of LSB. I think the Ezreal is infinitely better in this scenario than like the Jin, because the Ezreal has a high mobility, and even though his range isn't as long, he can use his mobility to get into better scenarios to better capitalize off of the Blitzcrank pushes. Yeah. That being said, I think so. In other words, I think RY wins. RY wins draft. The LSB comp. Blitzcrank, Jhin, and Jace, right? That's the core of the comp. Is good in theory, but it lacks, what's the right way? It lacks the ability to capitalize. That's the problem. It lacks synergy, I think is actually a better word. This feels like a ooh, we're gonna trick you, right? Because no one's expecting the Jhin and the Blitzcrank. This doesn't make sense. So I think it's a very interesting idea, but like the Gragas, unless the Gragas can defend a 5-man push off by himself, there's no way they win, or a 4-man push. So yeah. Sorry, just skip it into the game. Yeah. So that being said, the objective of either team, right? I've kind of talked about LSG's. What's RY's objective here, right? RY's objective, I think, excuse the shitty ads. RY's objective here is probably just to do a good amount of damage, and then, alright, they've just got like a good team fighting, like it's just a good general comp. Yeah, so like look at this. They get a really nice hook here. Rabbit, I'm pretty sure knows this position really well. You can see that he knows for a fact this is going to hit. They get a hit on Salem, but Salem just kind of walks it off. Like there's no problem there. Yeah, but like I think going back, I don't know why I got sidetracked. RY's comp has just like they've got a good amount of poking, they've got a good amount of CC, like they just have a generally good comp, and like it's the idea that like if you protect your front line, they will carry the game for you, and in this scenario, that is exactly what they should do. I'm not a huge fan of the Draven pick, obviously, but like I think that like it's good enough for what they're looking for. And although I'd rather see something else, like probably my NA brain rot says like Kai'Sa or Xayah or the Ezreal, but I think that it's still very good. Yeah. Where is this gold lead at? What the fuck is going on with the supports here? Like, I'm sorry, Rabbit, why are you 800 gold behind? It's obviously made up by the fact that it's Kha'Zix and like everybody else is basically even, but like this is like, actually no, it's 200 gold. What the fuck am I saying? Why are you 200 gold behind this early in the game? That's not a good sign. Because I was immediately looking at this, and I was looking at like look at the gold, right? It's 6.3, 6.3, 6.5, 6.5, 6.7 to 6.7, 6.9 to 6.7. Rabbit is just falling so far behind. I'd love to see why. I don't know why. I'd love to like be able to see why, but it's very weird. Why is Rabbit so far behind? Like you're giving away gold lead to your opponent. Oh, Kiri? Yeah, good escape there. Oh, and it looks like it's evened up, huh? I guess it was just, maybe it was just the way it was piling up. Yeah, that's very interesting. Why was there such a big gold gap there? I'd love to like this is why. while I love to see top lane matchups, if you're not going to focus strictly on the top lane, just show me the bot lane. So Kiri should just clear his jungle, and it should just be this nice even game until dragon fight. Nothing super interesting happening here. None of the like 4 mid strats we saw game 1. Nothing like that. Anything interesting for runes? It doesn't really look like it. It is interesting that Eugen took the exhaust. I know that like usually in bot lane you'll have like a smite or like a shield. So it's interesting to see that exhaust was picked over either of those. But yeah, that's really about it. I'm obviously liking the micro by Luna. I don't think they've dropped a single Draven thing yet. Maybe it's just the fact that I've been brainwashed by... Okay, Kiri, what are you doing here? So let's watch this. So Kiri's gonna go for a really aggressive invade. There's no vision here. And it looks like they see that there's no one there. So they just kind of jump over and then they just jump back. I mean, it's good aggressive vision, but if you get countered on, you're dead, unfortunately. And it looks like Kiri should die. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what you're doing there. There's no vision here. What? So why are you? What? Like, I know you had they didn't have an award, but like if you're in the scenario, just like place a ward, get the fuck out. Like, the moment you die, you give up so much advantage, especially with the dragon having just spawned. Like what? Just spawned like the dragon spawned like 5 seconds ago. So like you're not expecting anyone to be here, but you don't know where the top laner is. It's completely logical that they could be like roaming down this direction, trying to get like taking a safe path to the dragon. So yeah, I'm gonna say early. If I could spell early game. Kiri gives us a really bad kill. In deep blue jungle. I don't know why. Right as dragon spawns. Yeah, so yeah, I don't really know why you're there. It's a good idea by Ratel to just kind of take advantage of that. And it looks like they will get the Infernal Drake. And like that's like the least. That's the Drake you want to give up the least, you know. So yeah, that's not good for LSB. That also puts you down 800 gold. Like, you don't. I'm just not sure why you're taking that, you know? And what's really weird here is LSB aren't playing for any counter objectives. It looks like they're just trying to pug the fuck out and just like kill the enemy team. Like, why are you not pivoting towards like Rift Herald? Like, even though you're down in gold and you've lost the Infernal Dragon, you still don't want to give up the Rift Herald. So you're just gonna sit here and like try to force tower? Like, What is your plan here, LSB? I don't get it. So it looks like RY have done this weird pivot where they've put in Luna up top. Okay. So we see Luna up top, and it looks like Salem's recalling, so we'll see if he goes up top as well. Wait, did somebody take the... So yeah, RY take the Rift Herald during... When did RY... Yeah, so they took the fucking Rift Herald. Yes, that's why they were down here. I was like, didn't they take the Rift Herald? Yeah, I was not tripping. I don't know why I missed that, but like, yeah, I don't know what LSB is doing here. You know, if RY get the Rift Herald, what's the point, right? You've just given up two objectives for free because of a bad kill. And like, even when they got the kill, they should have respawned. Kiri probably would have respawned in time. The cooldown is very low early game, so why are you not pivoting top lane? Like, there were good macro plays the first game, but I'm not seeing them here. And I think, like, I hate to like point at the coach here, but I think it's a bad strategy because of these two. You lack a lot of mobility that you had on game one, especially with that Ezreal. So it looks like they're gonna go for gank on Glow here, maybe. Yeah, interesting. I can't tell if they're gonna try to gank Glow or not. It looks like they should, but if they do, they will probably get punished by Kiri. Okay, so Kiri uses Gragas ult there. Or Glow uses Gragas ult there, but what does that do? You just to clear wave, like that's it? What does it do? It kills what? It kills two with the Kha'Zix. I feel like that's a wasted ult. Like, you're just ulting to clear wave when you have Kha'Zix there and you don't. Like, Kha'Zix will clear wave. You should be more worried about exactly this, the Rift Herald. Illusion's gonna hit some damage on Luna, that's good. And then they just kinda tank it for the tower. I mean, I don't know. I'm not gonna pretend like LSB is playing so much worse than I feel like they were playing last game. This just feels like they're just waiting to die. Like, they're not taking counter objectives. They're not like I feel like Kiri has had no opportunity to like show off his microplay. They're just like, they're giving over free objectives. I already said that. What? They're giving over free objectives. Kiri has no objectives to show off microplay. RY seems to be playing really well. I really like how they're playing. They're just like, they're basically playing to their win condition, which is start team fighting, right? And second of all is don't get dived. And finally, like, this LSB team comp just seems so fucking bad. Like, it seems dog shit. I don't see why you pick the Jhin here. And I have yet to see it, obviously. Good bush clear. Okay, so here, you know that this, so here, right, you know that the bush isn't clear, or wait, no, does that hit dough? I can't, hold on, I'm trying to see, I need to see if this hits dough, right, because if this hits dough, you know the bush isn't clear. Yeah, that hits dough, you see damage there, you know the bush isn't clear, and you know it's Xin Zhao, it's 783, why are you autoing if you don't have smite up? Like, game one, I was like, Kiri's looking really good on these like micro plays. I feel like he's doing really well. What is this? Like, this feels like a complete turnaround. Like, when you have this at 1900 attack, right? A 780, 760 is about outside of auto range, if I recall correctly. Maybe it's just he thought that. Yeah, but you give this up to dough, right? And hold up. Let's Wilder Smite damage scale, because I need to see if I'm tripping. I think it's 750. Yeah, big shout out to Wikipedia. But yeah. Hello, where is it? 4 to 11 to 1,000. Okay, so they don't have the 440 to 1,000. So it's the same damage. Do we have like a? Okay, well they don't have a. It shouldn't be 750 yet. I'm pretty sure 750 is like level 8 or no. If it's 440, it'd be. I'm doing the fucking math in my head. I think it's like 650 right now. I think 750 is because it's 1,000 at level 15, right? Then level 14 should be about. Should go about 150 per level. Maybe it is. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like you should stop autoing this the moment you know that there's damage. And you know that there's damage here at 1845. And then it goes down to 7867. I don't know. I feel like this is a bad microplay. It just leads to both. Objectives lost. Kiri loses red buff. Red buff to bad micro. To bad micro plays. I'm gonna say that maybe they didn't have the info. Maybe bad info. But like that's just a miss. You should not be giving away. Red buff, I'd say, on Kha'Zix is probably like you never want to give away either of your buffs, and red buff is really good, especially now with how the. When did he use the? So immediately after red buff. So Glows knows that they should be getting dive here. Yeah, good job getting out and not giving over the kill. The tower wasn't worth it there. You know the tower's gonna fall anyway, so don't give him the kill. You know, try to trade somewhere else. So, it does seem like LSB is not going to play into the lane swap, which is interesting. Because they were losing lane before they lane swapped. You know, they were constantly at their tower. But, like, it doesn't seem like they're having that much effectiveness against the Garen either. So, I feel like, again, team comp issue, but, yeah, I don't know. Good job on Doe avoiding the whatever. God, the wave of vision. Also clearing out wards, you love to see it. That was actually a very good blind hook from Rabbit. Like if you look at this, he just kind of, yeah, like they have no vision there. It's just a very good blind hook. Like they know Doe is there, but I think that's just a very good blind hook because they don't have like specific vision on. And it looks like Garen has swapped back up to top lane. So it looks like RY just wanted to get that tower gold onto the ADC and the support, which I think is a really good choice. Draven is your carry in this game. You want Draven to just start throwing his little axes in the air and start boink, 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 catch, catch, catch. You're all dead. So yeah. And Xeno is not dead. Yeah, so I mean like it's chip damage and like that being said, Honeyfruit is up, so I think you'd prefer to tower dive and get the kill there. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, tower diving and getting the kill maybe. I don't know. Honeyfruit is up, so like it's 50-50. So it's time for the second dragon. RY is winning LSB about 2,000 gold. So the Garen's got the first, the Black Cleaver plus the boots. Let's see. Yeah, so even though Garen has about 1,000 gold lead, it doesn't look like Garen's gone back, so I don't think it's translated into much. As for the Draven, though, you can really see it. Like, Draven's got 2 of the small, like, build items, but no boots. This is only it's only 300, so I think it makes sense why it doesn't feel as pronounced, especially, like, it's very close. Like, if you look at a lot of these gold totals, except for specifically, like, the Garen, they're all relatively close. Obviously, like, you know, they're about 300 above in general, but that isn't converting into an item, right? It's very important, like, when you're looking at gold advantages, to see if that's converting into items, right? Because that's where the advantages are. Like, a gold advantage will tell you if there's an item advantage, but, like, in this case, the gold advantage is 2k, 1k on Garen, and then 1k split over 4 people, which is 3k per 300 per person, ish. Yeah, like, I think it's 250 technically. But that basically means that there's not, like, it's only a singular small item, right? Like, 500 isn't enough to get you an item. It's not one of those breakpoints. So yeah. So I'm pretty sure they know Doe is here, and it looks like they know Doe is here. They're kind of trying to avoid him. Good chip, like, you now have vision onto where Salem is, and you see Doe. You see the Jinzhao. So here, I'd like to see as many of the Jin pot shots as possible. You know, the long clicky clickies in damage. Also, this ward right here is getting a lot of use that they just put down, and it looks like there is no one clearing it. Yeah, they're all just kind of hoarding in this bush, like, not realizing there's a ward there, it feels like. I mean, it doesn't really matter where you're hiding, but at least they're kind of spread out now. Okay, so starting the dragon, and are they just... This is a bit cheesy. RY just kind of refuses to fight this, and I like that. You're basically saying that, like, because their comp is really pokey, and they really want to hit a hook, if you can just engage onto their comp, they kind of lack the ability to counter engage, right? Because, like, if you're already on top of them, what is the hook doing? And, like, you can kind of see they're trying to back away to, like, separate one of the teammates, but, like, if you all go in at once, what does the hook do? Good leashing, just, like, you know, letting it reset. This feels so fast. Am I on just normal speed? God damn. Yeah. So Jinult's coming out. First shot goes on to Doe. Second shot misses. Third shot looks like it should hit Doe. Okay. And then 4 shots going on to Salem. And that's it. Okay, so those are the 5 shots. Jinult got no value. Let's look at this over here, right? We've got, what? Salem, Ratel, Glow, Rabbit. So, Glow gets locked in here with Salem, I think is what's happening. It looks like the threshold, or the thresh thing. And then so Ratel goes in, Glow gets out, and Rabbit uses the Blitzcrank ult for nothing? Or that's the overclock, right? So, but, like, if you just look at this, like, Jin's ult really does nothing due to the really good heal from the Garen, right? Because it means that he gets like a 300 health boost, you know? Wait, does Kiri get knocked out of the pit by this? Yeah, so Kiri jumps in, immediately gets knocked back out. So Kiri's out of the fight. And as you can see, now Kiri has to walk around. But it looks like this communication has been. I don't know how Kiri gets away with this. This is just one of those things where, like, you watch him. This should not happen. He should not get away with. They know he's in the back pit. The way that he's probably going to come is through the back. He's not going to engage onto your front line. Like, you should be expecting him back here. And so, I mean, the Gragas ult is pretty good in the fact that it puts him right by Kiri. And then Kiri can just take the 1v1 versus the ADC, which the assassin probably will always win. Get some damage onto the support, flash out. Looks like Kiri should die to the ignite though. Oh, gets the honey fruit. But during this time, as we can see, RY gets the dragon. So it's a single kill for dragon, which is not the trade you're looking for. And I don't know, I feel like this is a team comp issue. I'm gonna keep saying it until it doesn't prove true. But like, look at them. They're back here. Like, they couldn't poke at all, right? You don't have like I think the Ezreal has been infinitely better for poking. And like, you kind of want to poke with the you want to like pull them in. I just don't see how this comp is supposed to win the game, right? Like, what is the goal, right? Like I was detailing earlier, the moment you do anything with this comp, you've kind of like put yourself up a creek, right? Because like even if the Blitzcrank gets a pull, then like where are you pulling them to? You know, that's the problem. Garrett should get this kill. Yep, good kill. Yeah. Also, I feel like Jhin just doesn't do any damage. Good job, IZO, just getting out of there. I haven't. Let's see. What are we looking at for kills here? 2-0-0 on the Garen, 1-1-0 on the Kha'Zix. Yeah, so we haven't seen many kills go over. It's been just kind of like a game about the objectives, and I feel like if there aren't a lot of kills going on, right, the game will be focused on the objectives. And who has won all of the objectives? RY. Who should win this game? RY. It's that simple, unfortunately. You got 2 dragons on your side, you know. And look at this, RY immediately, they come back, they all go top lane, they immediately go for this Rift Herald. They're trying to lock LSB out of the game here. Right, like if they can get this mid tier 1 and this bot tier 1, I think RY should just win this game. This feels like bad communication again. Why are you knocking everyone? Then again, they probably could have gotten out. So maybe the idea here is like, we're gonna sacrifice the fact that no one will get hit by the inner circle of the Ziggs ultimate to just hit them all with the outer circle. And that's kind of what it feels like, because otherwise that's just bad communication again. Because like, the Ziggs should be calling that they are ulting in on this scenario, this spot, and so should the Jhin Zhao a few seconds ahead. But like that kill onto Glow basically guarantees, however, that the Rift Herald will go over to RY, in which case I think they win this game. The Ziggs should just be able to start chunking turrets now. Like you can just see how much, like watch, 16-12. Oh, and look at this, they finally hit a hook. So Luna's here, the hook gets hit onto the Draven, you get a hit Jhin hit, and look at how much damage this does. Oh wait, that misses? I'm sorry, what? I guess that was a miss. I feel like that's a miss. But like, the game's saying it's a hit, but like that did no damage anyways. So even if it was a hit or a miss, there was really no damage done. So So yeah, we'll see if the Rift Herald can get another plate, maybe, if they're lucky. It doesn't look like it. Should just be killed by the Jhin. Yeah, so I think that at this point, it's a 3k gold lead, but, you know, everyone's winning by about, like, at least, like, it feels like there's just been no chance for LSB to ever get in the game with the objectives that they lost. Due to that early kill, it just felt like they've lost all the objectives and they haven't even started playing the game. Other than that, I'm gonna keep criticizing their team comp. It just screams god awful to me. I hope they go back to something different for Game 3. I'm probably gonna review that tomorrow. We'll see. I want to play some Wild Rift tonight, get some gameplay footage going on the channel, you know. So yeah. So we're seeing like what 2-3 split basically. 2 were top lane and then like 3 are mid lane. Where's the ADC going on its own though? This is there's a lot of brush here. Okay, good. Rabbit's coming back to protect it. Yeah, you should be protecting your ADC here. Like, even though Jhin is unfortunately the carry, he's not great, but like he is the carry unfortunately. Yeah, so we're about 10 seconds away from Baron and about 30 seconds away from the Earth Dragon. So let's look at the items real quick. 2 items completed on Garen, with like a third basically half, versus basically 3/4 of the second item. So Garen has a very clear advantage here. Garen has gotten all the kills, 3k ahead. Like, you want to play through your Garen. The Kha'Zix still has a bit of a gold lead, the 9 to the 8. It's only about 400 though. Ziggs looks like he has what, like a, come on, what, that's about a 1k gold lead. 600 on the Draven. So like, you know, we can see here Ziggs has got the Rabadon's death cap, which is basically, I'd say, a power spike for Ziggs. But he's got 2.5. So does the Jace though, so it's about even though the, but Ziggs does have the stasis. Well, it looks like the Jace, yeah, Jace only has boots, so that's a big component. If you're getting trying to get poked, like if you get hooked, you're gonna get the stasis. You can see all of the squishy members here buying stasis, because the moment you get hooked, you just stasis and you're good. Other than that, Thresh, about 800 ahead. Really just transferring in the fact that looks like, I'm pretty sure, yeah, it looks like that first item is built only. Other than that, the ADCs are in about the same position, only that 500 gold lead. But that stasis again is big. It really stops a lot of the ability to poke and burst that I think LSB is looking for. Yeah, so we're just seeing, again, we're seeing this sort of same positioning where this is very interesting to me, because RY are taking the same fight every time. They're like, we're going to position here, we're going to position at the bottom of Dragon, and then you guys will walk into us. And LSB just does the exact same thing every time. They come from this way, and they try to engage. I'd love to see LSB come from this direction, or from this direction to try to engage. They're constantly trying to engage this one direction, and I feel like it makes them very one-dimensional. This is another reason why I like the Ezreal, right? Because you could blink from here to here using his little dash and start poking into these people while still having your flash to get out this direction or out that direction. Yeah. So they're just gonna get engaged on here, and this This is happening twice, so it feels intentional. The Jinjiao ult comboed with the Ziggs bomb. Good amount of damage, or the Jinjiao like knockback, I suppose. Rabbit. So look at this, right? So the Jinjiao, the Garen goes in, the Garen starts spinning, and Rabbit's going to hit a hook onto the Garen. Garen's going to get knocked up, but just, uses Ignite, immediately flashes out. I don't know. It feels like there's a better hook target than Garen, because you all just got, look at this, right? Look at the health bars on Kiri, Illusion, Eugen. They get, I don't think it's necessarily because of the Garen, but, if this Garen, didn't literally just stop spinning, you all would be dead. Oh, it's because of, Luna. Luna's just fucking chunking them all. Look at this. Yeah. Jhin gets one hit, misses one, 2 hits, and it's doing literally no damage, and misses one. Yeah, so I'm gonna say it. Jhin has gotten no value this game, it feels like, and I am an anti-Jhin truther. He just doesn't do enough damage. Ezreal constantly felt like he was doing damage last game, and at this point, it's the Cloud Drake for the Elder. RY could care less about the Cloud Drake. They already have all the other buffs. They can just take Baron and they can end the fucking game anytime they want. Look at that. It just did singular Draven hit. How much damage is this gonna do? 252. Single Draven hit. That's a good amount of damage, right? That is a heal down right there. So yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna keep pointing fingers at the team comp here. I think that's the explanation. Obviously, besides the very bad give up of Kiri, his death in the early game, and the give over of the Rift Herald. This game isn't like it's a blowout, right? This isn't like these NA games where you've seen where they've just gotten teams blown out. It just feels like they're getting out macroed because of their team comp is worse. This has been a very good example of how the macro game works. I think you've just kind of seen what you shouldn't do from LSB. So Doe is going to try to hit this onto Glow, gets hooked in by the Blitzcrank, gets knocked up, gets hit, takes look at this shit. Look at this is ridiculous. Look at how much damage he takes. Okay. He takes basically 0 with the Thresh on his side. Knocks away the other 2, and the hook cooldown has just been expended for nothing. What did you get there? You got nothing. This is the other reason why I don't like Blitzcrank Jhin. If that was any other carry, Doe should be dead. He should be he gets hit with an Ezreal flick, his Ezreal ability, or a Kai'Sa ability, or a Jinx rocket. He's dead. He's dead. But he's just sitting there fine. And I've been criticizing the Blitzcrank less and less because I think it's honestly pretty good. Hold up, let me check it. 53 minutes, goddamn. But I think that I've just not been impressed with this Jhin at all. And Ziggs is starting to come online. You could see how much chunk damage that singular bomb just did. And so I think that we've reached the point where Draven started to do an absolute fuckload of chunk damage. So is Ziggs. Sail's gonna hook in, get the pull back onto Rabbit, and Rabbit's dead here. This is a good ult to zone them off, right? Because you see, first of all, if Rabbit wants to get out, he's gonna have to walk through them, and 2, the entirety of the team basically kind of has to move out of the way. So they don't want to get poked. Yeah, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm really liking this 0 Ziggs. It's pretty nasty. I can see why it should be banned. And if I'm okay, this game is over. I don't mean to be rude, but this game feels like it's over. Unless something major happens, you're just gonna keep losing the macro game, keep losing objectives. So focusing on next game, right? This is the point where if you're the coach, you're like, okay, it's time to start focusing on the next game, I think. Right? Like obviously really your team can do it, but like this isn't like a CS game where you have like tactical timeouts. You know, like you can't really talk to your team in between, you can't help them strategize, you can only talk in between games. So you've got to focus on the next game. And I think what you've got to do is, one, you've got to ban the Ziggs. I think the Ziggs has been really impactful and it's been really good for taking down towers. Two, I think you want to try to force, obviously this is the LSB coach mindset. If you're the LSB coach mindset, I think you ban the Ziggs and you just don't pick these like characters again. You try to get them on this pokey comp again, but like you pick the Ezreal instead of the Jace. You try to force Zero onto a character that he's not good at, like the Gragas, and take advantage of that, especially in that mid lane matchup. Right, because if we look at the gold real quick, like Illusion is still very close in this game, where he is very much losing, and I think that's a lot because of like how Illusion is playing. But like I think that means that like that shows that if you can get Zero on like a non-carry character, you can like sort of force him into this weird role where you can let Illusion take over this mid lane battle. The other thing is that obviously if you're the RY coach, I think you want to try to force them on something like this again. You want to try to make them do something cheesy, right? Like I think you've kind of got to let, like, even though I'm a Kha'Zix truther, he's done nothing this game. Like he hasn't been that impactful. Like just keep keep Kiri off like the Jin Zhao, who he looked really good on, honestly. Maybe I'm underestimating Jin Zhao. I'll probably have to look into him more. But yeah, just like keep him off the Jin Zhao and like let them play the Jin, you know, like keep the Senna band and basically like see if they don't pick the Ezreal, like you could pick it and then try to make them play the Jin. Yeah. Obviously the Draven I think is probably gonna end up being banned. I wouldn't ban the Draven if you're LSB. I think the problem is not the Draven. I think it's the fact that the Draven is online and that like the Jin is doing no damage in return. Like look at this ult. Right? They just completely ignore RY completely ignore this Jin ult. They're like, okay, whatever. And they just keep playing. Because like if you want to dodge a Jin ult, just kinda move back and forth. Right? Like just kinda like here's how if you want to dodge a Jin ult, right? It looks like this. So you got your Jin ult. You are here. The moment the Jin starts, you just kind of move this way. And then the moment the Jin starts firing at you, he has two options. One, he can fire at where you are, right? Actually, we're going to want to delete these real quick. We're going to draw a better circle. So, right, the Jin has, right, let's say you are moving this direction. So you started over here, and you moved this direction. When the Jin starts shooting at you, he has two options, right? We're gonna draw this in. We're gonna draw this in the red, or actually we'll go with yellow. We'll go with yeah, yellow. I like yellow. Right, when the Jin starts, that looks bad. Nope. Ooh, pink. When the Jin starts shooting at you, he has two options, right? One, he can aim at where you are, right? Or he can aim at where you're going to be, right? So he can aim at either A, or he can aim at B. He cannot aim at both. And the moment you see that line, you can just continue either A, if he shoots here, right? You can just stop at B. If he shoots at B, you can just keep moving to A. Like it's just a little quick reaction game. It's just a quick time mini game. That's all it is. And like that's basically what they're doing here. Not to mention the Jin's doing no damage. So even if you are hit by whatever, Kiri's gonna get bursted down. Not a great ult from Zero, I think. Like, there's no one else in this range even close. Like, god damn it. Right? There's really no one else in this range. Did that hit glow? I'm sorry, what? I'm trying to figure out what hit glow there. Oh, yeah, it does technically hit glow. But, yeah. Good ult by Draven to slow Rabbit. And it looks like Rabbit should be dead. Jace is forced to flicker out. And then, I don't know, this feels like it should be game. I guess it's not. But it is an inhibitor at the very least. Right, like just being able to kind of force your will on the opponent now. You're just like, you're so far ahead. 7k is the lead that you're looking for. Plus with 2 dead, they can't really contest you on Baron. Yeah, see, this is good on Salem. He's just kind of sitting there in the way of Glow. And boom, there is the Baron. So yeah, now RY is just completely in control of this game. 10k gold lead. You should just expect this. Right, like this is just basically over. And look at this. They're immediately focusing. They're not going to even let them get the Elder Cloud Dragon. Rattel's just kind of down here, zoning them off, being an annoyance. Yeah, this is just not what I want to see from LSB. You can see that they're not even going to take the Cloud Dragon, like I said. Like they don't even need to. That's a good Gragasult, but Doe just kind of shrugs it off, right? You've only got 2 members there, so like look at this. Pretty good Gragasult, honestly. Like forcing Doe into this weird position. But he has ult, which you see him do, he just kind of knocks them both in one direction. And with the Ocean Dragon plus the lifesteal he had, he doesn't even have a lifesteal, but like just the Ocean Dragon lifesteal is just doing so much. And then Baron is letting them take all the inhibitors, plus the Ziggs. So with just like the Draven and the Ziggs forcing, this should be game. Once they just mop up Kiri and the rest of the team. This is also a very bad fight from LSB. There's no focus fire here. Like Illusion's over no man's land. Glow's just kind of trying to like take on Salem. They get the Thresh with the Rabbit Hook, but Kiri's kind of over here in no man's land, trying to 1v1 Luna, who he's not going to beat. Like 14-14, and like Luna's much more ahead in gold, but you're not going to win that, unfortunately. So yeah, this should just be game. Okay, thank God that game is over. That was just awful to watch. So takeaways. We'll look at the stuff from last game. Zero/Luna weren't very impressive. I really liked Zero and Luna in this game. I thought they were pretty okay. Game 2, they looked pretty good. Kiri on a carry champ in the micro. Game 2, definitely, unfortunately, not it probably. He didn't look great on the Kha'Zix. Like, he looked okay. Looked okay on Kha'Zix. LSB poke versus the RY dive. Game 2, RY kind of pivoted away from the dive. Like from the pure dive, had a mix, which means that, and that's how they beat that. That's how neither played. I'd say neither team actually fucking played. Neither team played either. So yeah, and then the RY communication. Game 2, they took better fights. But there definitely were some, but there were moments that reeked of poor comms. Yeah. So we're gonna say, what are we looking at for this game? 5. Don't play Jhin. Like, I'm gonna keep blasting this until people get the idea, but Jhin is not good right now. You saw how little damage he did. Blitzcrank was neat. Blitzcrank was neat. Not good. Other than that, don't give away early picks. Don't give away early picks, and if you do, trade for map objectives. The big story of this game was that RY just won every single objective. Like, name a single thing that LSB won in this game for objective-wise. You can't. Like, even LSB's own red buff they lost. They didn't win the dragons, they didn't win any of the Rift Heralds, they didn't win the Baron, they didn't win any of these map objectives. Like, how do you expect to... This game is heavily focused around map objectives. Like, that's one of the criticisms of this game from, like, people that play the game, is that it's too heavily focused on map objectives. So, how do you expect to win this game without map objectives? So yeah, that's it. Other than that, besides the dog shit draft and, like, the map objectives, there was nothing bad. Like, they managed to keep themselves in this game for longer than they should have. Anyways, flash my notes one last time before I call it a day. See you guys.